Hello and welcome back to another Pony and Wolf Productions video. My name is visualbrony and as always, I welcome you and remind you that if that button below that video is still red, that means you have not subscribed to our channel yet. In which case, I would really ask you to at least consider subscribing today. It helps us out in the YouTube algorithm and it is free. Today we are going to read the story Series of the Wise by MellowSoul. Now without further ado, let's get into the story and I hope that you will enjoy it. Mind and Spirit. Spike listened closely as the grass swayed along with the breeze. The sun cast its warmth over him, bringing a deep sense of peace and understanding. Every molecule in his body connected itself to the waves of nature, moving him forward into the future with no physical change. He thought about his earliest memory, the day of his 5th birthday. It was a modest celebration between himself, Shining, and their parents. There was cake, but no gifts. His reasoning for that was simple. He didn't need more than he already had. Even at such a young age, he knew the value of the love of those around him. Their companionship was the only thing that would matter when he was gone.
I do not fear death.
When Spike first repeated this mantra to himself, he wasn't sure he believed it. As the years went on, he began to understand what it truly meant. The dark forces which loomed over everyone's existence would try to use their fear against them. Those who understood this would aim to confront and conquer it, and in doing so, gain ultimate freedom in the process. In the end, no one had power over him but himself. Even the most powerful evil could not withstand the courage of those willing to sacrifice everything for their beliefs. Spike thought about what death was. Having spent so much time with Twilight, he understood both the scientific and spiritual aspect fairly well. One was present to explain what the other could not.
I am eternal.
The more he studied the laws of creation, the more the idea cemented itself. If the universe was born from a rapid expansion of energy, perhaps it could happen more than once. If energy could only be transformed, then perhaps his consciousness could as well. Further still, perhaps he would come to exist in a realm where entirely new laws applied. The possibilities were limitless.
Beauty exists within all things.
In the world, there exists enough hatred to destroy all we see, but when compassionate beliefs are applied to practice, a truly kind world becomes infinitely more possible, so it may take a number of cycles. Through internal negativity, Spike found the strength to resist all that would drag him to submission. He could only control what was within, and he could only trust in the flow of time, for its presence heals all wounds.
I am worthy.
In the distractions and chaos of life, it was easy to lose one's sense of self. Doubts about one's own position tend to spring up when we are left alone with our thoughts. All beings crave affection and positive affirmation. When denied, anxiety and sorrow arise. It is only when we recognize that life loved us enough to create us that our fractured beings become whole once more. The trees, the rocks, the mountains, they are both our swords and our shields. Trusting in them yields ultimate protection.
There is more than meets the eye.
Magnificence and wonder lie within crevices hidden from prying eyes. Every grain of sand holds a history of bygone eras, where arcane secrets dwell, waiting for curious travelers to unlock their truth.
Where the mind goes.
The dragon opened his eyes, finishing his thought out loud.
The eyes follow.
He rose to his feet, staring off into the distance. He yawned and stretched.
Better head home. I'm starving.
Spike spoke with Twilight over dinner about his experiences that day.
I feel like I've become a lot more focused than I was back then. Then you truly freeze. There's nothing left to break your concentration. A strong mind is your greatest weapon in life. Now I know why you spend so much time studying. We are two sides of the same coin. You focus on the observable truths while I seek what's missing. I would say it's quite a powerful combination. Rather than reject a single set of ideas, you embrace their thought processes into something that made sense to you. I feel like I can rest now without uncertainty weighing me down. Peace of mind is a gift to be treasured. It is in such short supply these days. I still remember the day I realized I had no desire for carnal impulses anymore. I spent so much time pining over Rarity, but in the end, she didn't need me at all. She moved on, and that was that. Do you have any regrets?
Spike shook his head.
No. Truly loving someone means letting them find what they want for themselves. I'm just glad she did. I'm sure you'll find someone who loves you the way you loved her. Maybe, but if I don't, that's fine with me. I've seen most of what this world has to offer. It's been interesting, but I'm approaching a time where peace and solitude reigns above all. I understand. I just hope you don't mind lending me the occasional claw. Not at all. I'm proud of you, Spike. What for? Most people go through life never knowing who they really are. You chose the path less trodden. I know it wasn't easy, but from the sound of things it was worthwhile. Yeah, I think so too. Come on, let's clean up.
After washing the dishes, Spike returned to his room for the evening. The shadows brought closure to thought, beckoning him into the realm of his subconsciousness. He wondered if Luna would visit him again tonight. Ever since he began exploring his inner world, she had become a regular visitor. She seemed to share his enthusiasm for the unknown.
I wonder...
He pulled back the comforter atop his mattress. Out of all of his friends, he was the only one who managed to get close to Luna in any meaningful way.
Was it my same lack of understanding that drove her to madness before?
Could it be true? Was the former princess motivated by knowledge and lack thereof? There was only one way to know for sure. He slid under the blanket and closed his eyes for the second time. Hello and welcome back to Comment Timer's Visual Pony, where I will remind you that you can support BluePawWolf Productions through the links down in the description below. Every dollar helps is needed and very much appreciated, and don't forget that you get early access to all stuff that we record. So, it's really worth it for just, $1 a month you can get that, for as little as $1 a month. And it helps to keep the lights on around here, so you want to keep the lights on around here, right? Anyhow, let's get into the meat of the story, because I find it kind of weird, if I'm completely honest with you. Spike meditating, and then he moved on from Rarity, but now seems to be interested in what Luna's experiences are. Kind of a stretch, but it's well written, and I know certainly that people in my life have told me, oh, you should meditate. And I'm like, no. I've tried it, and it's not my cup of tea. Anyhow, let me know what you think about this, and have you ever tried to meditate? Sincerely yours, Visual Pony, and I hope as always that this video finds you well in body and mind.